Today, I'm sharing with you all the top 5 spookiest found footage horror films I have seen till date. Though the whole trend of found footage films was kickstarted by Blair Witch Project way back in the 90s, now that I rewatch it, it is not that scary anymore. That's why it will be an honorable mention in this list. Coming back to the top 5 list, number 5 goes to Hell House LLC. This movie embodies a remarkably minimalist approach, ideal for a contemporary found footage horror film. However, Hell House LLC prioritizes execution over innovative settings. It adopts a documentary-style narrative, focusing on a group of haunted house enthusiasts who make a regrettable choice of location for their attraction, leading to fatal consequences. While this setup is quite typical for the no-one-gets-out-alive found footage subgenre, Hell House LLC manages to deliver some genuinely hair-raising moments and compelling performances. The film derives its effectiveness from relatively simple setups and deliveries, like the strategic placement of props and the unsettlingly realistic clown costumes. It employs a shooting style that gives the impression of unfolding in real time, devoid of cuts. The actors convey a naturalistic sense of frustration and unease as peculiar events intensify. Hell House LLC features several instances of authentic, heart-pounding terror. Undoubtedly, it outshines most other found footage. At number 4, it is the Spanish film Rec, which was remade by Hollywood as one of the standout entries among found footage. Zombie films remains Rec's. Like others on this list, Rec displays a sense of playfulness in redefining the traditional notion of a zombie. The story follows a news crew as they surreptitiously enter a quarantined building witnessing what initially seems like a zombie outbreak. The infected individuals move with incredible speed, reminiscent of 28 Days Later, and are later revealed to be possessed by a demonic force that spreads through bites. This blending of traditional zombie lore with religious mysticism adds depth to the narrative. The film features expertly choreographed scenes of zombie chaos, intensified by the confined first-person perspective. It's worth noting that the found footage approach seamlessly complements the zombie horror genre, possibly because in the digital age, people would naturally document such events with their phones or devices. In Reci, this aspect feels organic and unforced, offering viewers a vivid depiction of the harrowing experience of being an ordinary person trapped in a massive apartment building overrun by zombies. At number 3, it is Unfriended. This movie stands out purely because of the innovation it brought to this genre of filmmaking. A found footage movie, but the whole story happens on a laptop with friends video calling each other. Unfolding in real time and presented as an uninterrupted single shot, Unfriended embarks on a unique formal experiment that swiftly establishes its self-imposed limitations. Surprisingly, this limitation turns out to be one of the movie's fundamental strengths. The audience's perspective remains confined to Blair's computer screen, where the camera meticulously captures her viewpoint. This perspective encompasses her interactions with friends on their own computer screens and her image within her own window. Unfriended shines brightest during its build-up, as tension gradually mounts. Initially, Blair and her online friends dismiss the odd occurrences as technical glitches, suspecting playful tricks. However, it becomes increasingly evident that something far more sinister is at play. As the narrative peels back layers, it evolves into an unsettling and disconcerting tale. It takes something familiar and subtly distorts it, sending clear signals that all is not well within this world. At number 2, it is As Above, So Below. This film really creeped me out the first time I saw this, as it is for the first time. I realized I was watching the different circles of hell play out before me. As Above, So Below distinguishes itself primarily through its high-concept premise. The story centers around a camera crew's descent into the legendary catacombs beneath Paris, where they encounter much more than they had anticipated. While one might expect such a tale to involve mutants or marauders, this film takes a considerably more cerebral approach. Instead, it unfolds as a metaphysical journey into a hellish realm, drawing numerous parallels to Dante's Inferno. The crew confronts various sins and failings along the way. Even the jump scares in the film are well executed. During an era when a plethora of subpar found footage movies flooded the market, As Above, So Below stands apart and certainly deserves recognition beyond its less memorable counterparts. The final 10 minutes of the film are truly horrific and mind-bending at the same time. It is only when the film ends that I was able to breathe easy. You should definitely watch this one. And the number 1 movie for me, which gave me sleepless nights for days, is Paranormal Activity. The first film in this franchise is easily the most scariest one. Unfortunately, the number of sequels that followed up didn't live up the expectations of the audience. Paranormal Activity stands as one of the most unfairly criticized horror films of the past decade, particularly among dedicated horror enthusiasts. This type of backlash often arises in the wake of colossal overnight success and the subsequent release of derivative and subpar sequels. The original Paranormal Activity is a remarkable achievement in low-budget filmmaking. Oren Peli crafted an exceptionally effective horror movie, especially considering the limited resources at his disposal. With a budget of just $15,000, he managed to surpass the Blair Witch Project in terms of both tension and narrative while employing highly unsettling minimalist effects. Sloat's portrayal represents the toxic man-of-the-house mentality, a character who would rather endure terror than seek outside assistance. In contrast, Katie Featherston delivers a realistic and captivating performance as a young woman gradually unraveling under the strain of paranormal activity. Beyond the performances and effects, Paranormal Activity serves as a brilliant case study in the gradual escalation of tension and the ability to raise an audience's anxiety levels. Personal experience attests to this. Watching the film during its limited release in theaters revealed a collective terror seldom witnessed. How could one tell? It was discernible in the boisterous reactions during the calm moments preceding each scare, an unmistakable sign of genuine fear, especially when individuals felt compelled to reassure their friends of their composure. This film constituted a unique cinematic event, to the extent that ushers remained stationed at entrance ramps throughout the entire screening, observing the audience's reactions. Such a spectacle has rarely been witnessed again. Regardless of criticism, Paranormal Activity undeniably sent shivers down my spine. What did you think of the list? How many have you watched? Are there any such movies that you would recommend? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Make sure to subscribe to Horror Stories for more such content. Stay tuned for our next video, and until then, sleep tight.